Hello everyone in the archived version. I'm here with the International Master Alon Mindlin.
Hi.
How do you feel today, Alon?
I feel fine, and you?
Not so bad, not so bad. I started reading quite deeply the girlfriend's book, delving into it just as a preparation for meeting the legend this Saturday on round 11 while commentating with him. And let's fix this small thing. Actually, the viewers see the wrong board. Let's put this board and then make sure that people can hear us. The legend. Okay, so yeah, before we start with the first moves, I want to mention that much like at least half of the people who are streaming here with me and the members of Chess Juice, our Twitch channel, Alon Mindlin here is also a chess coach. What levels do you teach? Between 1400 and 2400?
Yeah, something like that. I had one student that was 200 and 2300. Something like that.
Plus.
Yes.
At IM level, more or less, yeah. So, yeah, everyone who wants to improve, seeks to improve, there is Alon Mindlin here. You can see him in front of us. We have Asaf Givon, or Ikobo, probably others that are interested in teaching. Just to make sure, I accidentally put the stream as private, but right now they cannot hear us, but they will be able to about now. And also, in the archived version, people will be able to see everything we recorded here.
Yes.
So, yeah, it wasn't for nothing. So, hello everyone once again. Let's see if it actually works. I wanna watch the stream from my own computer.
So, Tal, what do you think that we're gonna see today?
Today, Carlsen is white as far as I remember, and I think he's going to try something new with to keep the pieces on the board and get some game going on. So
another game that he will...
Some sideline.
Yes, try to avoid the theory. Again.
Well, if I were to recommend him as his second, let's say, what to play, I would probably say go for some Queen's Indian line. I don't know exactly which one, but some Queen's Indian sideline, which is known to be equal, but with a lot of pieces on the board, and then just try to outplay his Russian opponent. What do you think?
I think that he would try something like Trompovsky or the London defense, something like this, d4, bishop f4 or something like it's unusual.
Yes.
And try to avoid the theory.
We already have the first chat message. Cheers, guys, from Black Rotor X. Yeah, cheers, mate. And we have like 6 viewers already. The numbers are flying, skyrocketing. And yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, for those who are watching live, Alon Mindlin here is also a chess coach. Unfortunately, not only that he is a chess coach, he is between the age of 18 to 21 and he lives in Israel, therefore he has to go to the army.
Yes.
And but no, worry not, he doesn't have to fight or risk his life, I hope.
Yes, I just
only his pieces, yeah?
Yes.
And you sit in an office,
yes.
in some random
in Tal's room.
Not really, but only during live streams.
Yes.
But yeah.
Don't worry.
So you have to go to the army base and have some work going on there. You get to go home quite early compared to most.
I have time to study and to learn chess play.
There was a point I wanted to make with it that I forgot. Oh yeah, because you have to wake up early tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes.
For your work for your day at the job.
To serve.
Yeah. Serving the country by force. But no, and by the way, please don't talk about it during the entire stream. It's okay, it's not a big issue. We all go through it for 3 years in Israel, and women have to go for 2 years.
No, now it's 2 years and 8 months. So.
Oh, it changes.
Yes.
Okay, a lot has changed. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So I have 4 months less.
Less. I mean, they have 4 months less.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, it feels a little bit less unfair, but still doesn't make sense.
Yes, but you already finished the army, so you don't have
Yeah, exactly.
to feel.
I finished when I was like 21. So the point I was making is that Alon has to wake up early in the morning, and therefore, unless he is going to be as crazy as me or find a lot of interest in the game, he'll probably leave. I suspect in about 2 hours. I hope a bit more, but we will forgive him either way.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, on Saturday, round 11, we will have Boris Gelfand with us on the stream, and that's very exciting. As I mentioned, I started reading his book as a preparation. I mean, I already started before, but now I'm actually doing it much more seriously. Feel like I have a conversation with him. For those who don't know who he is, you can read this text. I hope you can see it. And
He's also a very nice guy.
yes, a very nice guy, but it's quite obvious from the fact that he agreed
Yes.
to join all the humans here in the streams.
For
and,
the chess juice.
Yes, and we are very excited for this event. It will be round 11 on Saturday. It will also be recorded in front of live audience. And yeah, they say Magnus is black. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, what an amateur mistake. Yeah, because Sergey has double white. I actually knew it, but forgot just before starting to stream.
So another draw?
No, I mean now Karjakin is white. So I predicted just whatever you heard me saying, just imagine the same thing
The
for the
opposite.
8th round. And on the stream for the 8th round I will predict this game. That probably will be safer. No, but now what do you think will be if Karjakin is white? Yeah. Thanks for correcting, by the way, Black Rotor X. You're very active in our chat.
I think that we might see another Ru Lopez and maybe Berlin.
Yes.
But something.
Yeah. So Karjakin will most probably go e4.
Yes.
He doesn't have any reason to change. Carlsen will most probably repeat
Play
his Marshallesque type of preparation. I don't think he has a problem with the draw, and I don't think that he has any theoretical issues as far as his preparation is concerned.
Yes, but he
So-
would play. Karjakin would play knight f3, knight c6, and
Yes. And
maybe bishop c4.
you know, it's funny, when I originally talked to all the friends, members of Chess Juice and other friends to join me for the stream, most of the people asked to join me on days where Carlsen is white because it will be
Yes.
more interesting. But actually, when Carlsen is white, Karjakin is playing very solidly, and it's hard to create a lot of game
Yes.
going. And when Karjakin is white, there is a chance that both players are ambitious at the same time.
Yes.
Karjakin might want to win, Carlsen might want to win with black.
Yes, the game that when Carlsen had the most chance to win
Yeah.
was when he played black.
Exactly, on the fourth
endgame.
round.
Yes,
Yeah.
but Karjakin defend very well.
By the way, did you know that Carlsen has probably his longest streak without winning in the recent years? Like 7 games in a
7.
row,
Yes.
including the one with Hare Krishna in the last round of the previous tournament. And yeah, 7 games without winning for Carlsen is like 7 games for me without losing. Yeah, it's very rare. And
They play very solid. Both has much to lose, so we'll
Yeah.
see maybe a couple of draws in a row.
yes, Magnus is playing black. Oh, they have the moves.
Yes.
I'm sorry for not updating. I didn't see
Oh,
the moves taking place. And
d4.
we have a different opening this time. So let's put the moves on the board. D4, D5, C4, C6. So let's just mention Karjakin is white in case you didn't notice. And I actually changed the names over here for no reason. I reversed them, yeah, and it just ruined everything. But I will fix it during the stream, so ignore it for now. Let's just, without too much organization, let's just put this one here and this one here, not to confuse anyone. And okay, so let's just see. So Karjakin is white, playing d4, already surprised. Carlsen prepared the Slav, which is something I did not expect. but he did play it in the Olympiad, so it makes sense that he worked on it quite a lot recently. Knight c3, knight f6,
e3,
e3, and now a6. So let's just mention that here the main move is knight f3,
yes.
but the reason people start with e3 usually is
to
because
avoid taking on c4.
Yes, they avoid taking on c4, and that's more or less the main reason.
Yeah, e4.
Another reason that might be possible is that after a6 they don't have to put knight on f3 immediately, just like Karjakin played bishop d3, with the point that after b5 they can go b3, and maybe it's more flexible with the knight on g1, although usually it comes to f3 later anyway. But now bishop g4 is a little bit less forcing.
Strange, yes.
It's possible, but a little bit less.
f3, no?
f3, not bishop h5, and then bishop to g6. I mean, as far as I know, it's a move, but it's different from the position with the knight on f3. Also, white kind of gained the tempo by not playing
Black can't exchange the bishop for the knight, so...
Exactly. So, bishop d3 is the position on the board. And now, white... I wonder if white wants to transpose to knight f3 in case of e6, for example.
Yes.
Because it's very possible that Carlsen after knight f3 just wanted to play e6 like Anand against Gelfand in 2012.
Yeah. I think maybe b5, no? Instead of e6.
Here.
b5, d3.
b5 is one of the main lines, and now usually they go b3.
Yes.
Also c5 is possible.
No, the knight is on on g1. The bishop is on g3.
No, but you mean in the game?
The game, yes.
No, I'm just wanted to mention knight f3. Carlsen might have wanted to prepare e6
or bishop g4.
Or bishop g4 is not one of the main moves. It's either b5 or
b5 d3 with bishop g4. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, bishop f5 is another one of the main lines. Bishop d3 was played in the game, as we mentioned, and it's quite flexible. It prevents bishop f5 for a start.
Okay.
And also I might add that, as I said, b5 allows b3 ideas, and in case of e6, white is more flexible. He can, for example, play b3 and avoid d takes c4 ideas by having b takes c4 at his disposal. And bishop b4 ideas are not
bishop
as
d2.
Annoying because maybe knight g2 actually.
Or some ideas like bishop d2 and a3, no?
So when I played it with black a little bit, I remember looking at b5 here and thinking that this is how black should probably play, b3. And I believe bishop g4 is one of the principal moves, because this bishop is kind of bad in this structure.
Yes.
So you want to get it outside of the pawn chain before playing e6. And this might be the main variation here. I don't know
maybe knight d7
what recent trends took place. I played it around 5 or 6 years ago. But yeah, I believe that there isn't much that can change in this position. Although e6 might be a move. I really don't know. Let's actually check the database.
Yes, but the bishop on c8 is very, very bad.
So let's see. I want to check this variation. So as I mentioned, we don't check with computer at any point of the game, not even between games, so that when we do the recap we actually analyze our own perspective from the human mind. I believe if you are searching for computer generated recaps, you can watch most of the mainstream shows after each round.
So let's look.
So a6, bishop d3.
Bishop
and
d3 is
so
third option.
Yes, by popularity, 245 times, although it's more accurate here. So 402 times at least was played by white. And now b5. Yes, Svidler was one of the players who played it. Probably Aronian. No, Aronian didn't play it.
No, Aronian played it.
No, it's a different move. Bishop d3 has been played by many strong players, but let's see. Karpov played it. Back in 96 when he was 27-75.
So b5 is the main line.
Yes, yeah, Yakovenko, Bakro, even Gelfand himself played it. So if he was commentating with me today, we might have had quite a bit of insights compared to most of the e4, e5 main lines that we saw.
Yes, but in this game we see something new, at least.
Yeah, I mean
Not the-
something fresh.
Not the Berlin or the Rue Lopez.
Yeah. So for players like you, don't play e4. It's a bit more
Yes,
interesting.
but I play the Spanish for black.
Ah,
For
so
all
you
my
don't mind.
life.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't mind it too much. But this is still looking fresh. So speaking of fresh, we have some fruits prepared for later, for the tough times when the game is a little bit more even. So let's see. B5 is the main move by far, 205 games, so more than half of the games.
There is idea to go for the Miran variation.
There's
C4
an
and
idea
B5.
to take on c4. So as I mentioned, b5. Taking on c4 is possible, followed by e6, I assume.
Yes,
Transposing to some, or b5 even.
yes, B5, Bishop B7, and then maybe C5 at some point after E6 to open the bishop.
Yeah, so
As we said, the bishop on the white bishop, the black's white.
so both
colored
e6
bishop.
and b5 are possible. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to solve the problem for the bishop on C8. Maybe B5 and bishop B7 and play C5.
Well, usually e6 first. So here, bishop b3 is played mostly,
and E6.
and then e6, and it's one of the main lines in the position.
Queen F3.
Starting with e6 feels more flexible to me, because now queen f3 is making less sense. So I like starting with e6 for black, and then knight f3 is usually played, and now black can choose whether he wants to play c5 and transpose to the Slav maybe, or even the queen's gambit.
Yes, but B5 looks.
Yes, the queen's gambit accepted, because both players wasted one move. Black wasted the move on c6 and white wasted the move on bishop d3 compared to the main lines.
But
So c5.
if Carlsen wants to risk, this is the position that he can risk with the
Yeah.
Merano or.
Yeah, no, b5 I think is even more common. Yeah, transposing to the main lines of the Meran.
B5, bishop B2.
So we can expect either d takes c4 or b5. I think d takes c4 is more to the point, and more likely to happen. That Carlsen kind of prepared this move order against knight f3.
Yes, and Carlsen is thinking.
So let's see if so far no complaints. I'm quite surprised in the chat. So let's see. Actually, I see one complaint, but then the same person said there was a mistake in his settings, not ours. Okay, so
Okay, Slav Gibon.
yes, we have a Slav
Thank
Gibon in
you.
the chat. Thank you for wishing us luck. I assume you were also referring to Carlsen and Karjakin, but we'll take the compliment on their behalf. And yeah, and it was d takes c4. Great. This is good news for us because b5 might be a little bit less
Sharp lines.
sharp. So d takes c4 was played. Bishop c4 will be played for sure,
And E6.
and already have been. And e6 as mentioned.
And knight F3.
So far, not such a bad prediction.
So-
Knight f3 and b5 is what I assume will take place. c5, as I mentioned, is another option, but there is no reason for black to do.
C5.
And he did it.
He plays C5.
c5. So it transposes to the main line of the queen's gambit accepted. Let me just show how it is reached normally. So here d takes c4, knight f3 or e3. Let's just say knight f3, knight f6, e3, e6 for example, bishop takes c4, a6, and now one of the main lines instead of a4.
Nice.
No, sorry, a6 is another line. Instead of a6, c5 here, and now after knight c3, a6, and we got the same position. And I believe there are two variations here that are critical. One is the endgame after d takes c5,
Yes, and A4.
and usually bishop takes c5 is played here. And the other one that's considered, yeah, a4 is possible, but I believe Avuch recommended in his book for quality chess, Grandmaster Preparation, no, Grandmaster Repertoire, bishop b3 is what I remember.
Yes, the idea is to move D5 for us.
Very
Not
fast.
now, after castle.
Yeah. I don't know, but d5 or e4 very
Yes.
quickly. In case of b5, maybe then to take or something, yeah? I don't remember. I didn't study it very deeply, but I looked at the line once, and knight c6 is the main line here. And
Six,
yes, so instead, Karjakin castled, which is another one of the main lines, but a little bit less popular. B5, bishop E2.
Okay.
So I'm assuming this is part of Karjakin's preparation. Bishop B7. I'm very curious to see what's coming next.
Maybe
because
knight E5 and bishop F3, something.
it's possible, but let's just check what has been played here in the past. C5, as we mentioned. So C5 here. This move, or let's be more precise. This position has been reached quite a lot of times. Let me see. So more than 1,600 times. So probably around 1,800 times at least in the past after C5. Now castles is actually the main line. I didn't know it. Probably it's less popular than other lines as far as I can tell by top players. But recently castles seem to be fashionable, so I wasn't aware of it. I don't play it with either color in the past few years. So castles is the trend nowadays among strong players.
Castles B5.
And it definitely is going to be now after this game. So castles, now B5 is of course the follow-up for black.
Bishop B2 is...
And bishop E2 is by far the main line.
Yes. Bishop B7.
Bishop B7. And now usually they take on C5, so we can expect D takes C5 from white.
It's not so sharp as we hoped.
Yeah, we hoped it will be sharp. So let's have a look.
So what do you think? D takes C5 or something?
In this position
more
after bishop B7,
yes.
I think that one moment. D takes C5 is possible, and it's probably what's going to be played. Yeah.
Then queen takes D1.
Well, bishop takes C5 is usually.
And then exchange and put the king on E7.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm really curious to see what's the point. So I haven't analyzed it in the past. The idea of putting the bishop on E2 and then take on C5 doesn't seem
maybe to put him on F3.
So exciting. Yeah, but how exactly? So D takes C5. Usually they
Queen
take on
D1.
D1 because bishop C5, Queen D8, King D8, Knight D2 is the main line here.
Wow.
And it's considered to be good for white.
Maybe A4 and try to put the knight on C4.
Yeah, so maybe
B4.
This is an interesting point, and 75% for white in this position out of 28 games.
I think that he put the knight on the bishop on E2 and not on D3. He wants to avoid the tempo after King E7, the tempo of Rook D8.
Maybe, yeah, it's possible, very possible, and it's just very high percentage for white, so it must be an advantage, or at least very risky practically. So, but this is beyond my understanding of this endgame.
D1.
Queen takes D1. Now, okay, Queen D1 is the main move. Let's see what happens here. The percents are also quite high for white. Maybe Knight C6 is a move also. I'm wondering. Queen takes D1. Bishop. No, let me see. D takes C5. Okay. Queen takes D1 or bishop takes C5. It's hard to choose, but the results are not that convincing for black as much as I would expect in this endgame.
Yes.
It's much less boring than a Berlin endgame from the results point of view.
Yes, because black is a little bit white has developed much better.
Yeah. But I mean, allowing B5 and then going bishop E2 is so much in white's favor. This is okay. If it forces Queen D1, then it must be at least a little bit good. Rook takes D1.
Bishop takes C5, and I think.
Wow, I really didn't know
Maybe
this
A4.
line existed.
Knight D2.
Once again, Knight D2 is the same type of position. Wow.
What is
So,
the idea of Knight D2? A4, Knight B3.
Yeah. Also Knight. No, probably that's more or less it. Yeah. So I think that it's very likely Karjakin will take on C5. And he's thinking right now, as far as I can tell. So while he's thinking,
Karjakin is out of his preparation.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Don't you?
Karjakin's preparation will start probably in about. Which will only start in 5 moves. Yeah, not end. So actually, I see the d takes c5 was played,
Knight c6,
and then knight c6. Nice.
Oh,
So let's have a look on the board. D takes c5, and this is the position in the game. Knight on c6. Yes. D takes c5.
What about queen c2?
So d c5 is the obvious move,
What about queen c2?
and probably knight c6 is the preparation that Carlsen reveals here. That's not as popular. Before we check the moves for white, I want to mention that yeah, d takes c5, knight c6. Very quickly to see. Yeah, it's quite a rare move. I mentioned it might be equalizing. I saw only 3 games. Actually, in fact, there have been only 8 games before this one, and
Yes.
yeah, it's probably a very big improvement on the other lines, queen d1 and bishop takes c5.
So,
Yeah, so you want to find a move for white?
Tal, what do you say about queen c2?
Queen
Just to
c2.
keep the pawn?
Well, I'm
Bishop.
not sure it will keep the pawn, because
knight
maybe I'll go
bishop.
knight d7,
Knight d7, rook d1, or knight e4.
bishop.
No, if you play
Ah.
knight d7, knight e4 and knight d6
Okay,
check.
I see. So knight b4, yeah?
Knight b4, but it looks very risky.
I don't know.
Maybe queen b3, bishop takes c5, rook
Yeah,
d1.
it's definitely one of the principal choices. Let's just mention that in this position, the move that was played 4 times is a3.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Let's say queen c2. If bishop takes c5, then knight takes b5 and white is pawn up. So let's say queen c2, knight b4, queen b3, bishop takes c5 and a4, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
Black,
probably castles.
but white would be pawn up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find an interesting line. A B. So you have to take. I take with the queen. If bishop b5, I have bishop f3.
Yes,
So knight b5,
knight
then
b5.
bishop d5 maybe.
Queen c3 no, but I have knight c7 after that, so you have to be careful.
Which move?
Queen c3. Knight
I
e4.
mean, maybe I have some ideas with activity. It's still very complicated, yeah?
Yes.
But black has some compensation. I'm not sure if it's enough or not, but yeah, it looks very principled. So queen c2 is one of the main moves. a3 is the most popular 4 games here. Let's see the
Just
most.
try to keep the pawn, but
The highest rated game here was. It's funny. I see Ponomariov with black, but he was only 2350 by rating.
Yes. So
Is it the
Biskov-
right Ponomariov? Ah no, it's
No,
Valery. Yeah, Ponomariov in 2006 was already, I think, world
Runners-
champion or something. Yeah,
Yes.
very close to it.
So Biskov against Schlosser. Okay. So.
So
Masters.
so Milov with black played it in '99. A3 was played in the 4 games, the majority. 3 times Queen C2 was played in this position.
Black has some good results.
Knight D4 once, and B4 even was played once.
E4 with
And
the
the
idea of
results,
A4.
yeah, and the overall results are good for black, so we can expect an interesting fight. And I hope that both players are out of preparation, but I'm expecting that they are both still inside, booked up, as they say. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Here. So someone is saying in the chat, change video quality, but I'm not sure if they're referring to us or to someone else in the chat, because I see the video at HD and it seems perfectly fine.
Someone said change the settings, man.
Yeah.
Why didn't Magnus take the pawn at c5?
So someone is asking, we answered it earlier in the stream. This position after bishop c5, queen d8, king d8, knight d2, is dangerous for black because a4 is a threat. Then after b4, the c4 and b3 squares will be quite juicy for the knight, and this position arose 28 times, and at least, and white's results are around 75%. So it's definitely dangerous, if not already better for white.
He also wants to take with the rook on d8, so to keep the development. So
yeah, exactly. Knight c6, he wants to take back with the rook and develop, and also it takes a lot of the sting away from knight d2.
Yes.
Without the exchange of queens. So I can expect Karjakin to try to remember his preparation now, because I'm sure he knows something about this position, and I really can't say what it is.
Maybe queen.
So if anyone sees the video in low quality, then you should probably press at the bottom right on the settings, and then you see the quality, and you have different options. 720p pixels. 720p is HD, and you should be able to watch this way. And if you can't press it or it lags, then it should be your internet not being fast enough. But no worries. If you watch at the lowest quality, you can still see the chessboard. We are not that important. And yeah, chessboards, fortunately for us, are not like computer games. You can watch them in very low quality and still not understand anything, but see the pieces and enjoy. Yes. So what do we have? Karjakin is still thinking, and this is one of these moments in the stream. Probably for Alon, it's the first time he's commentating on a World Championship game.
Yes.
For me, it's like, I don't know, the millionth.
I hope it's not the last.
Yeah. And I feel like this is the first moment when one of the players delves into deep thought, and it's always Karjakin actually, and yeah, and we should come up with some ways to pass the time. That's our challenge as commentators.
So we have one banana. And
yes, actually two, one each.
Two. Okay, so
and I feel like here, so our possibilities other than eating, we'll keep it for later, are to analyze variations from the game, which might be interesting, to address the chat, and also to say random nonsense. This is what people seem to like the most, but it's probably not the best for our chess improvement. So I would suggest to refrain from it unless it's inevitable.
Yes. So
and we are too tired. So let's see. So let's start with the first one until we run out of variations, and then see where it takes us. Okay. So a3 is one of the most classical moves.
I think you have to start with queen c2 if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start calculating this position, you use.
Yeah, queen c2 is the most critical line.
The queen c2.
But judging by Carlsen's speed, he probably knows something here, or at least feels
maybe
the
a3
position
is
very
just preparing queen c2, avoiding knight b4.
Queen c2 what?
No, maybe a3 is avoiding knight b4. So
preparing queen. Okay,
c2.
Mainly preparing b4.
Yes, but
so forcing bishop c5 in a way.
Yes, but
and then b4 usually is being played.
Queen c2 is also a tempo, because now if I just take queen d1, when you play, can you put it back? Okay, so now queen takes d1.
I actually think bishop d6 is a good move, and then just castle. And black gained half a tempo because white put his bishop on a less active square.
Yes, but what does white have about after queen takes d1 and bishop e7?
Yeah, but look at this position. Just normally they play bishop d3 here, and then black is playing the white pieces. It feels like black should be completely fine in either way. And personally, I would keep the queens to have more winning chances with black in this particular position. But queen c2, once again, you're threatening knight takes b5, but
yes.
I should probably, maybe I can go just queen e7.
Queen e7, e4, maybe it's
just castle.
after bishop and now
E5.
E5. Very risky. I have some bishop G5, knight G5.
Knight G4.
Knight G5. You are losing.
Actually,
Knight G5.
lost.
Yes.
Knight G5. Let's show the viewers. Queen takes H7 and bishop takes G4.
You have F5.
Are two threats.
Bishop takes G4.
Yeah, no, but it's probably not worth the risk. But instead, maybe
just instead of queen E7, just.
What if I go knight D4?
Knight D4.
Actually, no, just you mean earlier even?
Yes.
No,
bishop E7. Okay, so queen E7, E4, knight D4. Okay, if I take.
I have some funny moves in mind also.
So.
Also, rook D8 followed by knight D5. Yeah,
No,
but
rook D8 after E5 and bishop G5. You have to be very risky.
Yeah,
very
careful.
careful.
So yeah, now you probably take. Yeah.
Yes.
I take, and now
Black seems to be fine.
black should be fine. Yeah, rook D8 or E5 next, and it's very hard for white to press.
You can try to check knight takes B5, but you don't have any pieces.
Yeah.
For the attack.
It's possible.
Yeah, king F8 and just fine.
Yeah. So doesn't feel right.
So maybe not E4. Maybe
it should be fine. Yeah.
Yes.
So I just wanna.
Maybe let's go back.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try B4 and then E4.
So B4.
Yes.
And then
wait. Yeah.
If E4, I'll probably go knight E5.
Yes. You don't have a problem here.
Can try taking an F4 in some cases, but E4 is hanging. So
knight G5 is also.
Well, white doesn't have any right to claim an advantage because black is just as developed as he is. So, of course, he has the move, but for example, bishop B2 castles. There's no reason for black to be worse. The queen is better placed on E7. The bishop is better placed on D6.
Yes,
so
then now black can take the initiative.
Yeah. So just for example, if white were to play bishop D3 and copy, usually in these structures, the first one to land the knight in the center takes over the initiative. And I read it on the first. I think it wasn't even the first chapter, the introduction of Gelfand's book. And it's very similar position arose in the famous game between someone I can't pronounce his name properly. It was Rubinstein with black. It was his immortal sacrifice, with the
on H2 and G2.
Yeah, when he sacrificed both rooks and the queen on H4.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So with the knight on G4 and the pawn chain for white like this. So. I remember something with Levi at the end.
Levenfish?
No,
Maybe?
not a famous player.
Oh.
It's hard to remember now, but I'll actually check. You know what? Something like
Salve.
What was his name? Rotlewey. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay, so
Rotlewi. Yeah, against Rubinstein. A very well-known combination at the end, but this structure is what
maybe even rook
led
C8,
up to it.
Just put the rook.
So knight D2 was played. So Karjakin might be out of book, judging by the fact that knight D2 has not been played before.
So is it a novelty?
I think it is. Let's see. So knight D2, we already have the novelty of the game, and judging, as I said, by the fact that Karjakin was thinking for so long, it means that he probably is not very well prepared, and and I mean he might be, but he thought for a long time. He played a move that wasn't played before. It might be very strong preparation, or he just plays the same idea as the main lines because he's faced with a new position. But my feeling is that with the queens on the board, there's no reason why black's activity shouldn't be enough for equality.
Yes, maybe.
So bishop c5 is to be expected now.
A4.
By the way, Asaf Givon mentioned the name before we said it. out loud in the stream. Rotliwai, or however you pronounce it. I envy people in the chat, they don't have to pronounce anything against Rubinstein. So well done, Asaf. And everyone else in the chat, 92 played, as if... yeah.
Talbarov.
Well,
Not Talbarov.
I don't understand why.
Like Talbar on, Talbar off.
Wow, this is deep. Deep stuff. Talbar off is an hilarious name by Asaf Givon. Talbarov as a nickname. Come on. You could come up with better nicknames, guys. So, let's see. Bishop takes c5 played.
Okay.
Good job, Magnus.
So
we pronounce it at home. A Frenchman 31. We pronounce it at home. We don't have a problem. Okay.
So this position probably a4 a4 before 94.
I don't think. Yeah, actually it makes sense. A4 is the only logical follow-up. But black doesn't have to play before, does he?
So what?
No, he probably should. Let me see just what was played here in the... Not played, sorry. This is a novelty, but as I did in previous games, we can see which position was checked. Are you familiar with the live book feature? I'm indirectly advertising ChessBase all the time, by accident. So there is a feature on ChessBase starting from number 12 and on, called the live book. And then you can see the number of visits to each position, which means anyone else who was connected to the internet and logged into the live book who visited this position is mentioned, and you can see how many visits for this 92 and which date was the last visit. So November 20th, probably because many people were visiting it after the game position has occurred.
Or maybe Karjakin.
A4.
Visited.
So actually A4 in this position, as we mentioned, has been only checked 6 times. And then B4, knight CE4, knight takes, bishop E7, and
B3.
just show the line that people has checked in the past. Now probably B3, castles, bishop B2.
Wait, just a second.
And then queen takes D1, rook F D1, knight A5. Black is definitely not worse. Maybe he's already better attacking both of these pieces. Knight D2, bishop D5.
Yeah.
Seems like black
don't have any problems.
maybe he's already like pressing. So actually I don't recommend A4 here, despite looking very logical and natural.
So
but maybe in this position most people check the move knight D E4.
Okay.
And now after which black I'll just follow
the same idea that just then B3.
Yeah, without the pawn on A4, so this B3 pawn is less weak. And then knight B4.
Okay, so black seems to be fine, maybe even better.
Yeah.
Not bishop B3 or bishop B2. No, wait. The knight is endgame.
I don't understand also.
Yes.
But yeah, something is wrong with what people have been checking. So anyway, here 6 people checked bishop B2, giving up this knight for no reason.
Yes. So bishop S3 is.
We shouldn't trust what people checked too much. Let's see. I think we have a new move. Knight D4. So that's actually the most checked move is what Karjakin chooses to play. And I think it's safe to say that Carlsen will probably take and go bishop E7, yeah?
Yes. And then
white will probably go B3, yeah? And then knight B4 looks good.
And then bishop is F3, knight D5, and black's has no problem.
Knight B3. So let's see what was checked here. B3, knight B4. So bishop F3.
Okay.
And then F5.
F5.
That's quite nice. F5.
But knight D6 check.
Knight G5.
Wait. What about knight D6?
What about knight D6?
So
it wasn't
can
checked.
Take on H2. Bishop takes D6, bishop takes B7, and the bishop takes.
Yeah, and then queen C7, hitting both pieces, or even queen B8.
Oh, so nice.
Yes. So knight to g5 is another interesting option for white.
Okay.
After which black usually takes. What I mean by usually is that it was never played and only 2 people checked it.
So
Rook takes d1,
bishop takes
bishop
f3.
takes f3, knight takes f3, bishop f6. That's a very nice line. Knight d4 and rook c8, and I'm assuming black is
Wait.
slightly better.
What about just bishop takes d4? Can you move back the rook to a8?
Yeah,
Just
bishop
bishop takes d4. I
Uh-huh.
want to use the fact that I can play knight c2 if you take with the rook. Just e takes and just blockade on d5.
Yeah, it looks very logical.
The knight is much better than the bishop.
Also, knight c2 looks no,
No,
sorry.
you can take.
Knight protects on
Just
a1.
bishop takes d4 and probably Carlsen would handle this position.
He will handle it quite well. Yeah, he would probably dance around and have a lot of fun torturing his opponent. So this doesn't look very good for white. I'm very surprised by Karjakin's choices in his games with white so far. He has to win somehow, or at least put some pressure on Carlsen.
But it seems like he doesn't do the job yet.
Yeah, he's not very. He hasn't been delivering what was promised to the Russian, to Mother Russia. Yeah. So we have a move.
So b3. Yes.
Already played knight d4. So Carlsen took bishop e7 b3, just as predicted. And we're guessing by the
Knight
fact that
b4.
many people check this move, the knight b4 is either the strongest or the most logical move, and it's probably going to be played because Carlsen does not miss such chances for activity. And soon enough we will start finding moves on our own without checking what has been visited in the past. So Rebel is asking, isn't it the draw already? Well, no, many pieces are still on the board. I mean, of course, there are good chances for a draw when black is equalizing and queens are exchanged, but I think there is quite some play left for both players here. And well, my prediction is that Carlsen will squeeze, and Karjakin. Yes. So Karjakin will defend like a boss, and it will be a draw, and both of them will be frustrated, and mainly the viewers. Yeah.
Yes. Another draw.
But you'll get a good
Too
night's
much
sleep.
fun.
I'll stay here until 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m. and just struggling to keep my eyes open to see
draw.
to witness Karjakin's defensive moves. So let's see, anything interesting by anyone?
Someone already left about the Karjakin.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So
Would Carlsen of Karjakin be happy? Or Karjakin be happy with all draws for the first 12 games?
would Carlsen or Karjakin, I assume,
Yes.
is what he wanted to ask, be happy with all draws? So because Carlsen is historically and statistically much better by like 100 points, I assume that that Karjakin will be happy to survive for 12 games against him without being behind in the scoreboard. But for Karjakin it will also be good, because then it will be decided not only for his rating, but the World Championship will be decided on rapid, which is much more random, so there's more chance for both players to make mistakes, which will increase his chances for a win. And the same applies for Blitz probably, although in Blitz Carlsen is also quite the favorite. So I feel like Karjakin's best chances in the rapid, if he will not. No, just the rapid, if he won't win a game here. Of course, if he wins the game over the board, then he still has a good chance. Someone says, Tal Baron, you must be less critical of Sergey. Well, I'm not criticizing him, I'm criticizing the fact that White is not pressing here. It's not personal, and I wish I would see an advantage for White in every game that Karjakin is playing. So I just want to see some, we smell so much blood, we want to get a taste.
Can we check for something? Let's say F. Sorry. I thought that.
Black to move, yeah?
Yeah.
Knight b4 is probably the most logical.
Yes, I thought that F5 here, but I forgot that knight b4. F5, you can play bishop b2. Try to take on g7 and checkmate on h5, but just knight g3.
Bishop b2.
Yes.
Wow, that's a nice idea. And then checkmate plus
but rook f8, so takes.
Yeah, but it still feels very risky. Maybe you take on d1.
Take on d1, but can wait.
Take.
Okay.
No, maybe with this rook, and then here bishop h5 followed by f3.
F3, yes. Knight d.
It's very dangerous for black.
Yes.
Yeah, nice idea, Alon. Bishop b2 here. Alon is very quiet today, but if you don't know him from the Israeli chess scene, then you probably don't know that he is very tactically alert. And when he streamed with me previously, when he was playing, someone asked me if I think that his style is similar to Tal. And I would say that he's closer than mine, but I only got the name. Yeah?
The name.
Yeah. Not even the same kind of name because it's the first name, but still. Yeah. So each of us has one of his qualities screaming to the world to be heard. So bishop b2 is a nice idea.
Yes, okay, we would probably see knight b4 or just the exchange on d1. Not in this position.
Yes. This is the other. So you can put it here.
Okay.
Over here. So, yes. So we have, how many rating points is Carlsen losing after each draw? Asked by Gerwazi Sokolowski. So I don't know exactly, but judging from what I know about the rating system,
0.5, no?
it's around 0.5, maybe a bit more. It's 100 points almost.
Yes, but they are both above 2,700.
Is it different above 2,700? I don't think so.
No?
I don't think the rating is different above 2,700. I think it's the same from the moment you cross 2,400 and play 30 games. It's called K10, and it means that the difference between a win and a loss is 10 points, no matter what the rating difference.
Yes.
And so if they were the same rating and Carlsen would win, then he would win 5 points or lose 5 points in case of a loss. But since Karjakin is low rated, in a win Carlsen will probably gain around 3.5 points or something like this, 3.7, and I assume he will lose something around 1 point, more or less, for each draw.
If you win one game, you just we can forget about all the draws.
Well, from the match point of view, but
yes.
For example, even if he wins 2 and draws the other 10, he still loses rating. So yeah, but it's kind of funny because when he played against Anand, I was expecting that no matter what result will take place, Carlsen will lose rating because he was at his peak, like 28-70 something.
Yes,
and Anand
27
70 or 80.
Yes,
he wasn't like in his best rating, and Carlsen had like 3 wins out of 9 games, and he actually gained rating.
Yeah, he won the +3.
Yeah, and it's kind of ridiculous to play against the world champion.
Yes,
in a match, you're 100 points higher and you still win rating. You don't care about the match even.
Okay, so
not to take any
someone
to disrespect Anand's capabilities, because I think he's an amazing player.
It's 1.1. So okay, thank you.
Patrick de Wilde,
so
or the Wild.
You can see that someone already.
It's 1.1.
Night before was played. Okay.
So, night before on the board.
Okay.
Well, so normally at this point, when if I were to watch alone, I would be too curious and turn on the engine to see if black is better. But this is part of the reason we started this small project, so we can try to actually learn and evaluate on our own using our brain.
Let's evaluate the position.
And by the way, one quote by Kasparov, although I don't remember word by word, but the meaning was that one of the key features, if not the most important thing about using an engine, a chess engine, is to know when and when not to turn it on.
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting, because we usually, the youngsters of the chess generation, just
Put the engine and go to sleep.
and just analyze the games directly. I try to avoid it, but it's very tempting, and I know many people are doing it regularly, and they don't, even if they agree that it's harming their chess in some way, they still do it because they can't resist.
So,
And knight before bishop f3,
so now f5.
and now
F5. Where?
f5. Is this what we checked?
Yeah. If
But we yeah, exactly.
f5 and g5. So
And the
let's
queen
see.
d1.
F5. So now white has some options. So if he checks on f6, just bishop takes f6,
And a1 is
and
hanging.
a1 is endgame.
You can
Okay.
with the right click.
Okay. Sorry,
Right.
I'm a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, and now if bishop, wait, knight d6, so this variation.
Okay, maybe I can make the move.
Okay, so
That's king h2.
king h2 and
Queen
queen
c7,
7, maybe queen,
yeah.
even queen b8 if you want to.
Yeah, just to stress that black has more than one choice. Yeah. So other than this, knight g5 or knight d2 are possible. And here we analyzed queen d1 based off the most visited position.
So yes,
And now bishop f6, and it looks, after knight d4 we think bishop d4 black is better, because rook d4 falls into this fork, and e d4 is just very juicy for black
the
to
knight
blockade.
is
And
much better than the bishop,
yeah, knight d2 is another option,
but it looks very passive.
but it's probably safer than anything else.
Although black has some weakness on
I'm assuming
e6.
taking and bishop f6 would make sense. But then
okay,
it's very problematic for white. Knight takes a2 is coming.
No, but queen takes f3. And rook b1. No, queen c6.
Mm. Why is it so bad? I have knight c3. Knight c3 to follow. But they have already a different position. Black castled.
Castle. So Carlsen chose the much safer.
Maybe he didn't evaluate f5 as that good, but
Yes. So now
it feels like a very principled option. I would really like to play f5 if it works. So
let's check just knight g3 or some. Oh no, knight g3 just take on d1.
So
Just bishop b2.
by the way, they say 55-45 Carlsen. I really don't understand what it means.
No, the 55% for Carlsen for winning the match or the game. I don't know.
The game, probably, judging by the rating. Talbar off is a username in the chat. So this is a new level of trolling. Just name, instead of just writing it, you name yourself by the nickname that you want to
Talbarov.
address. Wow, we have a user here. Maybe I should put him a moderator. Yeah, just for the creativity. So
You can invite him here. Okay, so what do you see in the
and
next
someone
one?
else is saying 61% versus 39%
Carlsen.
for Carlsen in each game. So castles was played I'm not sure if it's each game or the match in general, because it's a different statistic.
Let's look on bishop a3. Isn't just an easy draw for white? Just exchange everything and...
Which move?
Bishop a3.
Bishop a3.
I want to take on b4 and check on f6 and just draw the position. I don't think that white has more than this.
If I go king h8.
King h8.
I'd also go f5. Takes, f6. Probably bishop somewhere
Bishop
also.
d5. Knight c3. Oh no. We can take on f3 and play knight c2.
a5 also.
a5, but if I take on b4, you want to take with the pawn.
Maybe.
Knight f6. Check. Or bishop takes b7.
Doesn't feel good for white.
Yes, but yeah, probably lost for white. Okay, but
now bishop e4, bishop f6 sometimes, not immediately, but for f5.
queen e2. That's
f5
knight f6. Check.
again.
Again?
Yeah.
No, I have
yeah,
rook
rook
d1.
d1.
I have rook d1.
You're right.
So no, here
Hmm.
bishop c6 should be a draw.
Guess.
Yeah.
But
I don't
probably there is a better move here for black than to allow white to equalize. Maybe
Yeah, but king h8.
avoiding knight f6 check. Also protecting the bishop somehow. As I said, bishop d5 or rook protects it, queen protects it, I don't know. Still, I think that f5 should be a better move than castling, judging by our analysis.
But
Yeah.
it's not so easy to find this move.
Well, we're talking about Carlsen, he finds everything usually. I mean, in this match is not
I think that
in his best form so far, but
both of the players are still afraid to take the risk.
I mean, what is so risky about f5?
You have some weakness on a6.
But what is concretely risky, because you have a knight attacked?
Maybe 92 is one.
I mean, what
Yes.
what could potentially be a risk here for black?
Queen takes a3.
It's a very simple line to calculate for these players.
Wait, let's think about this position. Maybe bishop a3, something.
Alon, nice haircut by KP.
Thank you.
And we have a move, bishop a3.
Okay, so
Good prediction. But I don't mind Carlsen not playing f5. Of course, the fact that we analyze it doesn't mean that it's that good. But the fact that he only thought for 2 minutes, and this might have been his only chance for an advantage,
yes.
because maybe now it's no longer better. So
It looks like Karjakin tries to just draw the game.
yeah, and I forgot to show the people the board that we are looking at. So this is this is not the board. I don't know how to show it. Let's fix the names while you're talking
Okay.
over here. So, what were you saying about the critical moment?
Oh, when he played f5, when he didn't play f5,
Yeah,
f5.
yeah. It might have been better for black. That's my assumption.
So, what do you think about after bishop a3? Just boring draw.
Bishop a3.
So let's move the bishop to a3, right? Okay.
Well, I'm not a big fan of black's chances as much as I was after f5.
Maybe knight d5.
Yeah, but it's all in draw town territory.
No.
I mean, knight d5. Of course, it's
bishop
not a
b2,
draw, but
bishop b2. So now,
it's extremely symmetrical.
yes.
Black doesn't have a lot to claim, but f5 looks so juicy. I mean, white has to prove why is not much worse. And bishop f6 is coming, a2 is hanging. I really feel like Carlsen wasn't trying his best. I mean, usually he might play castle and decide f5 is not working, but he should think for 10 minutes
Yes.
or 8 minutes. Thinking for 2 minutes and just going castles is like, it's like he doesn't mind making a draw. Almost as if he's nervous. And we have some message, I think, in Polish,
So
judging by the amount of W's
do you want to put it
in the chat.
on the Google Translate?
Well, I don't think so.
Let's
think
try
we-
it
I think these people didn't want to be translated
from Polish.
if they wrote something in Polish. But please don't speak in other languages in the chat. Be friendly to the other humans who can only speak English. So, and those who can speak English, then
I would try to
Please-
speak Russian. and
please
tell
don't
them-
follow my instructions because you probably don't understand what I'm saying now. But it's funny, you know, every time I was talking to someone from Israel, they told me like, great channel, why don't you do some things in Hebrew? And
Yes.
then I'm like,
I don't know.
thank you for the compliment, and I leave. I mean, it's not like I don't want to do anything in Hebrew, it's just I don't see the point of it because we have, let me share some statistics with you. We have like 30% from the US, a little bit more even,
Yes.
about 10% from Germany, and maybe 7% from the viewers from Israel, and they speak English also. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of egocentric from people to expect that I'll do it in Hebrew just so Dave will feel more comfortable with the stream. And as I said, it's not only about the viewers; it's about us improving,
Oh.
and it's not only
He wrote. I will.
no, it's not for us.
Oh. But he wrote.
People are talking to each other in the chat.
No, he's the same guy that wrote in Polish. He can. He
Okay, it's
speaks-
not relevant.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, if they speak in we don't have to share all the Polish romance that's taking place in our chat. So, what did I want to say about?
Your channel.
Yeah, that like. It would, so I said not only about improving our chess, I also feel like I would like to improve my English in the process, and I'm learning new words with each stream. And I also not only learn, but I improve my pronunciation. Someone mentioned I have a Soho accent, and I have no idea where it is. I don't know what is a Soho place, where it is in the world. I actually have to Google it later.
Probably
But
not.
one of-
I don't think you want to find the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, but
Someone
one-
wrote us, "You are better than the guys on Chess24." So
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mario Winter.
How do you say Magnus Carlsen in Hebrew? Okay.
It's a name. You don't say it differently. Probably he wants to hear Magnus Carlsen. No, but it's not how I speak Hebrew.
Another guy that
It's one of the stereotypes.
the Dictator movie. And think that Hebrew we speak only in
Oh
with
yeah. We have this letter. In English, they don't have it. They have
the
H.
CH,
They have
yes.
yeah. But I know in Dutch and in many other languages, even in Russian, I think they have it sometimes.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm telling you as if you don't know, but you speak Russian.
Yeah, it's called the letter called Ch.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost as if you're mocking everyone. You look at someone. So my Soho accent. Soho is a place in London. Someone is saying. Thank you, Punit Agrawal. I feel like
Tell the guys
One of the
where are you
perks-
from.
yeah.
They they will understand that it's very far from from London.
Maybe not. I mean,
Yeah.
some people are from different cultures and live
Yeah.
in different places. I don't know. So
Also in Kurdish.
someone
Oh.
is asking also, why not stream on Twitch? You'd get 10 times the viewers there. Well, I don't agree because I think it's factually wrong, and also streaming on YouTube for me feels cooler when it comes to the World Championship. The Twitch is more underground. It feels like we're gonna do all the I don't know even how to call it, all the cool things that do you do at the back of the bus when you're on the way to school, yeah? Like the things that you don't tell the teachers. So we are like the super cool kids from school who wants to open an underground channel. We do it on Twitch. So yeah, we already have requests to brush, so as for me to brush my teeth on the stream. That's quite early. Usually I get these requests an hour or two later. And yeah, Bishop A3 was played. Yeah, we know, but we didn't see any serious reason to leave to move it there. Yes. Yeah, thank you for the correction. So one of the perks of streaming is that I don't have to Google any more in my life. I can just ask a question and everyone will Google from different countries, will get different results.
Yes.
And I'll just know everything and I can just sit. Like the main reason for people to stream, I think the best perk is that you can lay back and ask questions.
You don't have to work.
And you can
just speak.
Yeah, you can speak. You can ask questions out loud, and people will Google them for you. And well, there is a risk because you can never know if the answers are true or not. But in this stream, we built already a lot of trust, especially with the ones I recognize in the stream. And if you try to ask a riddle, there is never gonna be a fair situation. Immediately everyone will Google it and tell the answer and not let anyone enjoy.
We can see that.
There was a new move perhaps.
Rook C8.
Rook C8 by Magnus.
What about Knight F6?
Knight F6 check. Well, Bishop F6 demands to be checked.
Okay, so Bishop. Wait. Maybe Bishop takes B4.
But then Bishop F3.
I take on F8 after that.
No, I mean I don't claim to be better. I just think that Carlsen doesn't mind equalizing at this point. So let's see. Maybe Queen F8 or King F8 and Queen somewhere.
Maybe Queen F6. Try to go to an endgame.
Yeah. This is my maybe.
Black has the FC file.
Yeah, but not for a long time because if I move the bishop, then I have Queen A8 check. If you move the rook. So let's say I go Bishop A3,
I
Rook
can
C1.
take and just and
no.
Bishop C3 something like
Rook C1 is coming C1. Anyway. Yeah, it's just complicated.
Okay, so let's check the Bishop takes B7.
Yeah, but it does. White shouldn't be the one who plays for an edge. This won't be.
So
this will be unfair.
A1 and just Bishop takes B4 and both rooks are endgame.
Yeah.
Okay, Queen takes D1, Rook takes D1.
Rook D8, Rook A1.
Bishop C3. Bishop C3.
Everything is hanging.
Bishop
I
C3.
can probably just move back.
No,
but why is Bishop C3 so smart? Because I take on C8, it's still you lose a pawn.
I lose a pawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you take with the rook, have rook. Just take.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I think just Bishop F6 and.
Bishop takes F8.
Yeah. This is the wrong version.
So it's not so easy.
No, but Knight F6 check and maybe GF.
No, Bishop takes F7.
But why would he allow Knight F6? Bishop takes B7. He probably saw something. Maybe just Rook C7. But then Rook F8 is hanging at the end. And then I don't have time. So
maybe Knight C2.
I'm sure he plans something.
No, Knight C2.
Still thinking. This is weird. People are talking about marijuana and its legality.
Okay, so it's too far from Israel.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Do you know that in the US it's legal?
Yes.
In some
in Colorado,
States.
and
Yeah,
They
if you are
voted
above
this-
21.
yes, they voted it for it in the elections.
Parliament or
Oh, in the elections. So
wow.
also for this problem. Okay, so let's see.
So
I think that Carlsen might be in
let's
trouble.
calculate. No, he definitely saw it. We're just missing something that might be
So
obvious. Okay, so if I move the rook, you take the knight, and then take the rook. You take this one. I take this one. Okay, let's try it. I move the rook to b8, for example.
Okay.
You take the knight. I take this one. What you take on f8, yeah?
wait, maybe I want to take on a6. But okay, so I take on. Let's say I take on f8.
Just for the example.
Just bishop.
The queen f8.
Queen
Just-
f8, bishop a6.
Bishop a6 is there, so maybe a different order. King f8. I want to move. Yeah, but I don't have too many interesting stuff. Places.
You have to take with the queen.
Maybe I can do this.
Okay.
But rook b7, there's rook d8.
Yes. Or just move the bishop to.
I don't understand how suddenly white is the one trying after knight f6. Knight f6 played, boys, by Dimitrios Papas. Okay, probably he will take with the bishop. I wonder if he missed it, but this doesn't look like something that black should have allowed.
How can I miss knight f6?
I mean, not the
Yes.
move, but just the
Actual move.
consequences.
Yes.
Yeah, but a few moves ago, f5 looked tremendous for black.
Yes.
And now suddenly we don't see a way to equalize. Probably there is, but
Okay, so he took with the
we don't see
bishop.
it. Hmm.
So let's see.
Took with the bishop, and now I want to fix my other board for a moment. How do I do it without? Nah. Okay. Sorry for. It will take a few seconds. I apologize for it. This is the wrong board. I'll just create it. Probably disrupt the other board. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one, but now this one is changed. I really don't understand why it happens, but
Okay.
so this is the board that we used to look at the game, and bishop takes f6 was played. So
Tal, can we
let's
take
try
some
to
of
change
the
the name.
fruit? Tal.
One moment. Yeah. So
I-
it's
I will
about
bring
time.
it here.
So I need to. I should have fixed it. We'll just stick to the leeches board until the end of the stream, because I had to fix it before we started.
Okay.
So now we reached
Okay.
this moment of truth. With Nitzan, I had only one banana and I had to share it. It was very romantic, but we were both we were not well fed. So
2 bananas.
one each.
Tomorrow, 3 bananas. Okay.
Cheers, mate.
In Hebrew, we say lechaim.
Because let's say like they say in the moose, lechaim.
Lechaim.
Yes. So, by the way, I have some cookies that my nephew, my 8-year-old nephew made, and I feel like sharing them with you. I will also eat. Don't worry. So let me just show the cookies. They're inside this thing, so you can see it. Kind of see it. You see? And the cookies have Oreos in the middle, and in the sides, like all around, M&Ms.
Oh.
So it's a brand cookie.
Tal, I think you are missing
The moves.
the move. Yes.
You can put them inside while you eat the banana. Multitask.
So, oh, sorry. Try not to ruin everything. Tal, oops. Wait.
Did you change something?
Sorry.
Oh, wrong window.
No, wait. Bishop. Oh,
Okay,
Try to-
I'm back to save you.
okay. So bishop takes
No worries.
b7.
Let me see
bishop
one moment. Put the board
Yes.
where it belongs.
Forgot the right board.
The right window. So
The right window. Okay.
we are
You
here.
say.
Okay, so this is more or less where it should be. And now, everyone forgave you, I hope. And those who didn't, please
Forgive me.
put a like in the video to show us that you're mad. And now, after bishop,
Takes f6. Bishop takes.
was it played?
No.
Ah.
Bishop takes b7.
This was played.
Yes.
And now bishop b7 is what we analyze?
Yes.
Or it was played?
No. Bishop takes b7 is just the thing that way. Allowed.
Was it on the game?
Yes.
Okay. And now bishop takes a1 was played.
And bishop takes b4.
And now suddenly white might be pawn up. I'm not too sure. So let's try to predict the next move. Someone is asking, where can I buy such a cookie? Well, my 8-year-old nephew might make his own brand one day. But for now, I'm the only one who can lay my hands. And probably my brother, who is his father. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
One of the facts that I love, yeah, you can put it here, about streaming on YouTube is that I can do whatever I want. Probably it's not the best place for it actually. There's a garbage can somewhere else.
Yeah, but I like this one.
There's no bag inside, so the banana just completely ruins everything inside. I have to wash it later.
Sorry. Maybe you can wash it.
I'm afraid it's too late. Yeah, in front of the viewers. Let me show you what Alon just did. I bought this tiny garbage can. It's probably for paper, but now it's for bananas.
Okay.
At least we have great cookies ahead. So you see, normally when they start thinking in such a position, I start eating.
Okay, so I would try to eat something too. But
To what?
Where are the cookies?
Put them in the oven.
Okay, sorry.
That's, by the way, great advice for all you people at home who can't wait when you have cookies. Put them in the oven or in a toaster before you actually eat them. It's worth it. It's worth the wait.
Okay, so that's what miss. Oh, wait, what about rook c7? Rook c7 and bishop. Rook c7, bishop f8 is forced, right? Or maybe takes f8 is forced and queen takes d1. Rook takes d1. Queen takes wait, rook takes. King takes f8.
Yeah.
Just play now. Just not so good. Okay, so let's try something. Rook c7. Now white is forced to take on f8. Here, maybe.
Garbage can washed.
interesting variation. Now rook d8, and after bishop f6 there is checkmate. So
You ready?
the cookies are ready, so
It's quite warm.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cookies are warm for those who were huh?
A little bit too warm for.
Too warm? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
but it's great. It's gonna be great. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Okay. So be very careful. Let's show everyone. I put it on the other screen so I can
Okay.
maybe from here. Yeah, I want to see. So this is how it looks right now. And bon appetit
Okay.
from my 8-year-old chef nephew. Shout out to Lavi.
Lavi?
Yes,
Say Lavi.
exactly. Okay, careful. Maybe. Yes.
Okay.
At least we're gonna
Enjoy. From
Enjoy.
something.
something about this stream. M&M and Oreo. It's almost as if I was planning to advertise them, to get sponsored. Just careful.
Okay. Wow. Nice idea.
By him?
Yes.
Yeah. He's a genius. Someone's saying cookies aren't healthy.
Chess either. So.
You can argue about that, but I agree that cookies aren't healthy.
You have water?
Oh, finished. But
Should be a winter in Israel, but
it's about the
30 degrees.
most unhealthy things. If the amounts are small enough, then it shouldn't be lethal. You know.
Lethal.
So bishop takes b4 and Carlsen is still thinking. And you predict bishop f6?
Yes, I showed them the variation. No.
No, but he didn't take on d1 yet. Yeah? This is the position.
Yes. There is a nice variation that I just showed. Queen takes d1. Rook c7. Bishop takes f8. Bishop takes f8. Queen takes. Rook takes. And bishop f6 and bishop e7 checkmate. So it seems to be very nice.
Yeah.
But no. Maybe h6. Yes.
Or f6. This is a funny position. You can't win any material.
Here, but maybe try to no. Wait. Maybe I can win the a6 pawn in this position.
I want to show the viewers the inside of the cookie.
Real Oreos.
Yeah. With some M&Ms. Please sponsor us.
Genius.
If either of these companies will sponsor us, we will give them the rights to these cookies. Okay, queen takes, rook takes, queen. Carlsen plays bishop c3. They say. Let me check. Well, I don't get the update.
Bishop c3. Is it played without like
Bishop c3.
what is the idea of bishop c3?
I don't know.
What about bishop takes f8? No, you didn't take.
This doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Well, it does. We mentioned it in the past.
No, bishop takes b4.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, two. Rook b8, but
Bishop b5, we can't. Oh.
yeah, but
Even a4.
yeah.
I mean, dangerous for black. Why give up a pawn for nothing?
No, I said that bishop takes a1, bishop takes b4, and bishop c3. That was played in the game, no? Can you...
I think people are just suggesting variations.
no, so... If Carlsen plays bishop c3, just bishop takes f8. And the
Yeah.
rook on c8 is endgame. And the pawn on a6. So...
Mm-hmm.
I think Carlsen should give up for some material.
Yeah.
Somehow Karjakin managed to play for a win. By playing very passive opening.
Someone is asking in the chat. So Karjakin is up a whole piece? Well,
No.
I don't think so. It's black to move.
Yeah, and black took the rook on
Yeah.
a1.
Right now, white is one piece up. Let's call it one light piece up in exchange for a rook. However, he will get one of the rooks in exchange for a piece, so there will be something similar to material equality. But what we are not sure of is how to avoid white taking both the rook on f8 and the pawn on a6, because the bishop on a1 is also hanging. So we have to come up with a move. We have to concentrate for a moment. Someone is saying that I'm being annoying because I'm saying yeah without looking at the board when I was back there. But for those who don't know, in some cases where I see the position, even without looking at it, I can hear the moves that he's saying and imagine the position in my mind. So please, if you're annoyed with me, you don't have to watch my channel. That's one of the basic things that I'd recommend. So anyway, this position is a little bit problematic for black.
Very strange position.
And we have to solve the issues. There must be a move here that equalizes somehow.
Maybe.
So
Another idea, but it won't work. Okay, so
let Alon eat in peace.
so queen h4 is another idea to attack the bishop on b4, but now after bishop takes f8, I was thinking about bishop b5 to try to checkmate, but now after g3 just win, or the queen or the rook. Okay, so let's go back to this position. So Tal, what do you suggest in this position? Wait.
Don't scroll down because the viewers will not see the board.
So no, not in this position. Where after the game's position.
Which position?
In the game.
You mean
Bishop
here?
takes a1. Yeah.
so? I missed.
Someone has played. So let's.
You scroll down, you can see.
So,
Bishop f6,
bishop f6.
bishop f8, queen d1, rook f8.
Oh, so probably we'll try to play b4 at some point. Rook f8, queen takes d1, rook d1, bishop takes a6. Oh,
b4 or what?
before wait, so played.
More moves?
Yes. Oh, so bishop takes a6 and just before.
B4 looks like the most logical now. Planning to go rook a8.
Yes, I'm trying
But
to. Yeah, after g6 and.
well, it should be objectively close to a draw, but it feels like black, instead of being better here, I have to repeat it again. After this move f5, probably pressing white,
Yes. Try to.
he suddenly got into an endgame with a pawn down. It's like his mindset was to equalize rather than just play the best move in the position.
Yeah, but after bishop b7, why can I still play for more than a draw?
I think, by the way, another option that I failed to mention is this. And a rook a2 and next move rook a1.
What? Passing pawn? Is it a draw? I'm not sure.
Should be a draw, but the king comes very quickly to stop it and there's nothing to do
I have
with it.
rook d7 if I want to play for something more.
Now?
Yes.
If I go rook b2?
Rook b2. Oh, interesting. Rook b2, rook b7. And then bishop f1. Bishop f5.
That's just a joke. Probably have to go something like
g6,
h5
g6, no?
or g6.
Oh,
I like
have bishop
activity.
e8. Wait.
What do you mean?
G6.
So you maybe rook b1 first.
Rook b1, yes.
And let's just say g6.
b4.
Although I like g5 more to put the pawns on my own color.
Okay.
Color of my own bishop. But yeah, it feels like white should be,
Yeah, but white
should
can
be
play
pressing.
g3, king g2, bishop b2, bishop
Yeah.
h5. Try to promote the position. But
Improve, yeah, you can improve. So I don't know what to suggest. I have no idea what to suggest actually. So here bishop
before
f6.
would be
This was played. No, but here b4 is probably
the best choice. Before just bishop c3.
and rook a8 is still an idea. And if here, probably I will create a window, a luft for the king. And now you can also just go rook d8 actually. It shouldn't be a problem for black.
Yeah, but still, maybe exchange and bring the king to c4 and I have some chances.
Put the bishop on e7.
Can try to activate some. Probably close
I
to a
think
draw, but
I think it's objectively a draw without too much difficulties. I can even put my bishop on a3.
I have some ideas. Like, let's say I want to create a passing pawn, right?
How?
Let's say I put the king on c4.
Okay, I go bishop f6.
Okay, king e2.
Let's say I go here.
Oh, so something like that.
Just for example.
Okay, king e3.
Okay.
But if I play king c4, now your bishop is out
No,
of the
let's say
game.
I just go like this forever.
Okay, so
What will you even do?
if I bring the king to
The moment you go away from this pawn, I can get the
king
bishop
c5,
back.
king c5.
Okay, let's say I put it here,
Okay.
for instance. And then on e7. I mean, what possible plan can white have in this position? And just wait forever with the king. And I mean, you can't even come close to these pawns.
Yes, so it's
Let's go to e8 and f8 back and forth. And the moment you go queen d6, I can move the bishop. And it's not like a4, by the way, is such a big idea for white, even in this structure. If you go a4, b8.
I can try to bring the bishop to b1 and then play e4.
Yeah, but
Yes, but
it's far. And then still it's a draw with the b pawn against...
yes.
I mean, it's not very exciting. I feel like after rook f8, if bishop here, b4, this should be objectively a draw. And I guess this is also the reason that Karjakin is thinking here before taking the pawn. Maybe he wants to find something better than this position. Maybe he wants to
Before.
play some
Before.
move, yeah. Before himself. It makes sense.
But now rook b8. Oh, so look, I think I found some funny draw. Oh, isn't it? Just rook b8, bishop takes a6. Now
Bishop has the c8 square. And then you wanna go rook b8, but then
just bishop e7 maybe.
bishop where?
e7.
Mhm.
And now a3, rook a8. And take on a3. It seems like an easy draw. Rook b1, but I mean you are too passive.
Am I? Go bishop f1 and b5. I mean, I'm kind of better. I feel
Okay,
like
again, bishop f6 and rook a1.
bishop f1. Okay, one I go here.
Yes, but
Oh, it's not a draw just yet. I mean, with the rooks on, it's not gonna be easy. I think after b4 there should be something better. So
there are still Oreos left.
yes, Alon is taking his time with the cookie. Understands how rare of a chance it is, so he wants to maximize the fun. And
Sorry.
I want to maximize.
The
Yeah, I don't even know how to say it. The
cleanness. The clean.
I don't know. To minimize the dirt.
Okay.
No, the crumbs. Yeah. So
I think
you can say maximize the clean. So please Google stuff for us and tell us how to speak English properly.
I will probably move in about 20 minutes. So okay.
Yeah, but maybe the game will be finished by then.
Yes.
It's possible.
Let's hope, or maybe not.
Yeah, maybe I'll also stop streaming in the meantime, just because of the position. So maybe I should like take girlfriend's book and read paragraphs to the viewers and at least have them learning something.
Okay, so you can watch me killing a mosquito.
Are you sure you're talented enough? It's
I'm
here. Let's compete.
Okay, so the most
It's right here.
Oh.
Almost. The game is so interesting. We're trying to catch mosquitoes.
the most sharp part in this evening.
Sharpest part. You know, I have one video. I mean, when I call my the title of the Blitz video is Kid Crusher, yeah. And then the next one I call it Fly Crusher because I'm just talking to the viewers, to the camera, and then there is a fly and I don't even look at the fly. I'm like talking to the camera and then I say something about the position. B4 is an interesting move, and then I do like this and just completely crush a mosquito without even looking. This was probably the peak moment of my life, and I didn't even remember it happened until I watched the video and realized I didn't look at it. I was so focused on the game. So I found one talent that I can make use of.
Tal the talented. Talented Tal. Okay. What about rook d6? Okay, so rook d6, just bishop e7. Oh, now. a5, yes. Okay, so
Also rook d8, I guess. The same.
rook d8. No, rook d8.
Ah, but then taken b4.
Yes.
Bishop
You
e7,
have
bishop
to be
e7.
careful.
Okay.
No, take a4, you have a5.
Ah,
Just take one.
no, this is okay. It's the same position. So rook d8 after rook d6 should be a draw, I think. As we analyzed, the same ending is taking place here.
Bring the bishop to a3 and just draw.
I mean, this is the simplest, just to put the bishop here, but to avoid any a4 ideas. But even without it, I think it should be an easy draw. What else? b4 is the move we didn't solve yet. Maybe
Just try to
So you suggested bishop e7 earlier?
Let's see.
How about bishop c3?
Bishop takes a6.
It's not a draw.
Yes.
Just yet.
If
Let's try this ridiculous line, just for one moment. Here,
a3.
and here, and then here, and then here.
Okay.
And then you get this ridiculous position. Is it a draw?
No, I'm not sure because
Now you can maybe go for these pawns.
yes, I just can activate my king easily. Let's just try king f1.
Okay, let's analyze it. Bishop a7, king e2, king f8. Let's say I put my king on d6. How do you penetrate?
Probably some h4, and
Well, let's
try
say
to annoy somehow.
I will put my pawns like this, maybe. I mean, depending if you go h5 or not. For now, I'll put the pawn on f6. How do you even create weaknesses for me? It's very difficult to come up with a
Carlsen
plan.
is much more talented than you and me in those positions. So
With
maybe-
both colors.
yes, but maybe you
No,
will
but
try
just
to-
wondering, I mean, technically, this bishop covers this square. The king covers all the other squares, so the king can never come. So I just put the pawn on f6 and I go bishop b6, bishop a7, back and forth. What will you even do with 100 moves here to create something on the king side? Because I just ignore everything you do, and the moment you capture a pawn, I take back. And this bishop, I mean, can capture things on e3 or f2
Maybe
if needed.
I can force you to move f6 and h6 somehow. Let's say.
I don't want to go h6. Ah, you mean to attack it with the bish?
Yes, yes. Let's say
So-
king c4.
Okay, let's say that I don't even...
Okay.
well, I don't want to put my pawn on a...
I want to play bishop b8 in the next move. And if you play like king e7, maybe I want to take on f7, bring the king to b7. And then I can.
Let's say I play f6 without even you asking
Okay,
for it.
so king c3.
You want to attack this guy?
Yes. And then bring the king from. Let's say I can try to bring the king to h5 maybe and play bishop d3. So I have some ideas here because you are.
Okay, let's say I go with all your ideas without even waiting for you to provoke
Okay,
it.
so king d3.
Okay, I will keep waiting.
King. Let's. Okay, so king.
You bring it. Okay,
King f4.
okay. Let's say
King
I go.
g5. Okay.
I'm letting you bring
King
it
h5.
all the way. And then I
King
go here.
g6.
And then I go here.
Okay, so f4. Wait, no.
I can put the pawn on e5 later. And then I'll just wait forever with the bishop. And if you come with the king over, I will bring my king over to d6. I mean, why would you have a plan even?
But let's say g4.
So they reached the
Before-
end game we talked about. It's probably... but they didn't play the same...
No,
I did play the same move that we suspected, yeah. So this might be a draw, yeah?
Probably, yes. But still Carlsen.
I mean, Karjakin would hold it for sure. Just move the bishop, and then you go king f5, king e4. I go king e7, king d6. It's perfectly safe, I think. Anyway, back to the game. So this is the position, just like we predicted. He did take, and he did play b4. And now the point for black is probably to play some rook d8
Or rook a8.
and try to exchange the rooks. And if white avoids it, then maybe put it on d2 at some point. So
Maybe even some active counterplay.
white played rook c1 in advance.
So
I wonder what he wants.
exchange the.
No, but Carlsen was better, and now he's a pawn down. I'm still shocked. by the fact that he just is so submissive, you know.
Yes.
So let's see. Someone says G7 was played. I'm not sure I understand. Just G7, like.
Was played for the
Yeah.
first move.
Yeah. Do you have any chess book that you would recommend the viewers to read? Those between 1400 and 2000, let's say, who might want to improve?
I have a lot of. I like to study from the Russian books, so I have an advantage.
Can you read?
Yes, I have an advantage for a lot of players that I can read in Russian, and there is a lot of literature, Soviet literature that is so healthy to chess players. So I like to read those books.
Any names?
I read the Paul Keres book, and there is a chess book series that called the Black Serial. It's a series of books that that contains a biography about a lot of world champions and great grandmasters as Karpov and also Grigorich, a lot of grandmasters and like this. And I like to read it, and there is a good commentary in those books. So, and I also recommend about the Jacob Ogord book.
Specific one, Grandmaster Preparation?
Yes, Grandmaster.
Which one? Calculation?
Calculation, yes. I like to solve tactics, so it might be good for our viewers.
Yes.
So, what do you recommend?
G6 was played.
G6.
So when someone says G7, he meant G6.
Okay. So
I mean, the viewers get crazy because we didn't update the board, as if it's so dramatic. We're talking about something interesting. You can the move can wait a few more seconds.
yes.
It's just G6 in this position. I mean, maybe we can analyze it deeper, but right now, Alon's recommendation. He's a chess coach and he recommends a book. Come on, listen.
Already.
So, Calculation by Jacob Agard.
Yes. So
And
probably
anything about openings that you liked?
openings. I read all the Avroch books.
Including for black?
Yes.
Grunfeld?
No, I
Cut
think
here.
that's
You don't play it.
Grunfeld. But also I like to solve a lot of tactics, so I think it's the most.
Do you have any tactics trainer online that you tried?
Solve on Chess Tempo, on Play Chess. Also like to solve etudes. So
I'm never sure if etudes is the same in English or if they call it studies.
Studies.
I'm not sure, because someone once explained to me that studies is not the same as etudes. But I never heard someone American from America, let's say, who said the word etude.
Okay, so let's ask
Ask our chess googlers
chess googlers
to check it for us, if etudes is used the same way in English. So, do you have a new move?
Yes, I think that's. Yes,
Rook A8.
Okay.
G6, Rook C2, Rook A8. Okay.
So now, if the bishop moves,
Yeah.
then just bishop c3 and.
But then A4 maybe sometimes.
No,
but then you can take.
You can take.
You can take an A2, yeah. So, let's say the bishop moves, just for example here.
Just rook a3, I think. Or bishop c3.
Mm-hmm. White probably wants to bring his king over slowly
Yes.
and then try something later, but it feels very drawish. And to be honest, I'm a bit annoyed with the fact that you're going to leave me soon and I'm going to have to stay at this position for 2 more hours, because I promised myself I'll stick until the end of every game for some reason.
Yeah.
For Kaisa knows what reason. So we talked about a book, and the usual question that I ask everyone, do you know? The usual question, the ridiculous questions
Look,
that makes no sense.
if you guys find this boring, I'm not sure you really like chess.
What do you mean this? We don't find the position boring. Just the fact that every player is thinking for a lot of minutes, I mean, staring at this position for 10 minutes. If I were better, if I was better at chess, maybe I could have provided some deeper analysis. But my understanding is very limited in this position, and for this reason, I claim that it's very close to a draw. White has a pawn up, but it doesn't seem very significant to me. And of course, I wouldn't like to be black here. I would prefer to be white, but I hardly think I would win against any strong player. And there's not much left for me to show. I mean, just putting some random moves will not enrich your life. So I'm trying to focus on other areas that might. So I have this interesting person with me. Probably he won't be with us commentating on the future games because of this particular championship, because we have already one person for each day already covered. So maybe Asaf will come for the second time, maybe Nico, but it's not 100% clear yet. So yeah, exactly, that's the spirit. Tell us a story while we wait for a move. That's the right spirit.
Okay.
But we don't have to do it. It's just we can just compliment.
So, do you recommend about some book except the girlfriend one?
Well, the first one, positional decision making in chess. By the way, those books are not teaching you how to play chess. They're just they're mainly about decision making and Gelfand's perspective to the game, and maybe in some ways philosophy in general. But and a lot of points are interesting that are some stories or quotes. But one book that I particularly enjoyed was by John Nunn, and it's called Secrets to Practical Chess Strategy or something like this. And yeah, I read it when I was like 2200, and I learned so many practical secrets, just like the title from that book. And I highly recommend you even to read it. And yeah.
Actually, another book that I recommend is Secrets of Chess Intuition by Adrian Michalczyk and Alexander Bielawski. Very good book about making decisions on the board, because in a lot of times you have to make decision even if you don't see the whole picture. And this book helped me a lot to improve and to be much more confident on the board.
Yeah.
So Tal, I would probably leave you. So I have to drive to Kfar Saba.
All the way back to your city, probably 45 minutes, and then you have to wake up early for the army service.
So thank you guys, and I have to leave.
Yes, and
enjoy, and I would like you to watch some more interesting game than this one.
Yeah.
But,
sorry to have dragged you for this.
No, that's okay. But
for this position.
Actually, there were a few moments that, like the F5 move, where we.
Yeah, someone asked me to repeat the title: "Secrets of Practical Chess Strategy" by John Nunn. I believe it was Gambit books. So Alon wants to leave any time now. I just want to mention that it's far from obvious that he's willing to share his insights and time with us for free. And I think that every one of our guests has to be highly appreciated. And as you noticed, probably they are all at least IMs or past World Championship contenders. And I'm very pleased that all of them said yes. I mean, I didn't even encounter one person who said no when I offered. I almost feel impolite by asking people, knowing that they would say yes all the time. And and it's a great pleasure to host Alon here in my humble castle of chess.
The room.
Yeah, the cubic in Tel Aviv. And I want to mention once again that Alon is a coach, among other things, and not only talented international master, he's also talented at teaching others and helping them improve. So if anyone wants to contact him, then you can do it through Facebook, yeah?
Yeah, or my email.
Or your email. How can they find it?
My name, Alon Mindlin, one.
One, because you're number one among the Alon Mindlins.
No, actually it's the second Alon Mindlin, because there was an Alon Mindlin
before
me.
So you're the second Alon Mindlin, and therefore you're named Alon Mindlin 1.
Yes.
That's very deep. And
okay.
And then at gmail.com.
Gmail.com, yes.
So, or Alon Mindlin on Facebook, yeah?
Yes.
So you can contact him. I believe he's quite reasonable, and from many aspects, not only the price. And and I wanted to mention one more thing before you leave. Oh, also a loyal member of Chess Juice, our Twitch channel, is going to stream regularly, show you his massive blitz and bullet skills, perhaps. And or tactics. Well, I'll force him to work on tactics trainers and.
Already started to.
What?
To work here.
Yeah, exactly. We have a board here. I could show the viewers, but I'll do it later probably. Yeah, that's more or less it. I feel like I didn't
forget anything. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Sorry, I looked.
Yeah.
There are too much computers.
Yeah. Like 20.
Okay, so Tal, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so
and, take your cookie with you and never come back.
I will take the cookie to the army.
Yeah. Take the cookie to the army and show everyone how well fed you are. So have a safe trip home to Kfar Saba. So I'll lock the door so I won't have any burglars. At least not again. And now it's just you and me, dear viewer. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I. Tal is going to be alone. Actually, you know what? I can sit in Alon's place and remove my name. How do I do it? I'm going to try. And then I will pretend to be Alon. And I'll see maybe some new visitors who will join the channel will not understand what's going on. This will be fun. And I will be named Alon forever by them. So how do I do it? Okay. So it will take a moment to fool the future viewers properly. Okay, you see this one? I'll put it here. It's actually not the same color, but Okay. I deleted my own name and I became Alon Mindlin. So, what would Alon have done now? Tal, the board... Sorry, I don't know who you're talking to. The board in the game is completely different. Okay. How different? Let's see. So, since the last position... I'm not sure if I'm doing a good imitation, but bishop c3, move 24. Is what we saw. Yeah, I guess you guys are right. I kind of got distracted with my impersonation. So they're playing very rapidly. So rook e8, and this is where I stopped earlier. Bishop d3 was played. I apologize on behalf of myself and Tal for not showing the interesting variation that took place. King f8, king f1, rook a8, bishop c4, rook c8, king e2, king e7. Seems like the players are rushing. f4, h6, and yeah, now it's white to move and he's thinking, and that's it for now. What can I say? I don't have anything smart to say, and I don't have any more company with me. I honestly don't know how. So as I said before, I would like to commentate on this position and find it interesting, but I need to have a deeper understanding for chess. I don't think I'm lacking passion for the game. Just don't understand it enough to say anything profound. Usually in opposite colored bishops, it's good for the stronger side, in this case white because it's a pawn up, to keep the rooks. Without the rooks, the drawing chances are much higher, probably 100% in this case. And for the defending side, in most cases it's a good idea to put the pawns on the same color as the bishop so we can easily defend them. And for the weaker side, I meant, yeah? The weaker side should put the pawns on the same colors as his own bishop. And for the stronger side, to put the pawns on a different color from his own bishop to limit his opponent's bishop and hopefully fixate his pawns on the colors that his bishop can attack. I think this is a good general rule. And well, someone is writing, I hate your voice, but there is only one live channel shows this match on YouTube. Wow, that's the first mean comment that I received today. I can't wait until Tal will hear about it. So you were not addressing whose voice you hate this time. I mean, I'm not the regular guest here. So let's see. Q&A, someone is suggesting. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's a good idea. Nihilistic teddy bear. We have a new move. Can you play any instruments, Tal? Well, I know very basic things about the guitar, but nothing to be proud of. h6, king f3, rook c7 was played. So far, nothing dramatic. So, and by the way, Thanks, last noob alive, for mentioning that I was quite informative for a moment there. Actually, didn't feel that informative. I just said the basic things about these endgames. But this position, well, the fact that the pawn on a2 is backwarded, if this is a word, and that b takes a3 can be played against both a4 and a3, makes it a bit weak and difficult to exploit. So if the pawn was on d3, we could have created a passed pawn easily, but now it doesn't feel like something that's very realistic. So the only point of being a pawn up is to get a passed pawn, and in this structure is very difficult. And without a passed pawn, this is going to be a draw quite easily. So white's main plan should revolve around creating a passed pawn, and I'm presuming he should somehow grab space on the king side and maybe try to create some weaknesses to provoke something from black, and also at some point bring his king to the queen side in such a way that he might be able to try and prepare a4. I really don't know how, but in some creative way prepare a4 so that after b takes a3 he can have his king protecting him from this pawn, and maybe try to grab it back, and in the meantime pushing b4, b5 and so on. It feels very unrealistic to me, but I'll be glad to be proven wrong. And until they play another move, I'll take some questions from the crowd here. I don't see a reason not to. So anyone who has any questions, I'm not sure if I am the best one to answer them. I'm only an IM and I'm a guest on this channel, but feel free to ask. Maybe I should even sit in a more guestly fashion like this on the side. Who do you think is more likely to win the championship? My answer is Carlsen. Can you play blind? Actually, someone asked earlier and I forgot to answer. How many blindfolded games can you play at once? And I never really put it to the test, but a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I tried to play 4 at the same time, and it was very difficult. Very difficult to keep track with all the positions. I succeeded, but it wasn't easy. So it's hard to say. Someone is saying, Tal, do you like football? Well, I don't know why you're asking Tal, but I'll answer on his behalf. I think he likes I can't even play the role properly. I think he likes football. It was his dream to be a football player until he was like 12 years old. He was quite good, but then decided that people around were too violent, so he was also playing chess in a weekly after school activity, and he felt successful and decided to invest more time in chess rather than football, because the environment was much more civilized and intellectual. Any other questions? Could you give me a quick recap of what happened so far in the game? I'll rather keep it for the recap video that I might create, or the Tal might create after the game in the live stream on the Twitch channel. We have to leave something for there because the game is very close to finished. The most of the interesting things already took place, so if I recap it now, there won't be any point of doing it For what did you get the trophy in the background? So I see the trophy. I don't remember it. I can see it on the title of the trophy if I read it, but I'm trying to think. What was it? I don't know. And it wasn't even me, it was Tal who got this trophy. But what was it? Okay, I give up. Let's read. I'll go back and read. Open Internacional de Ajedrez Villa de Benasque, seventh place. Oh, this trophy has an interesting story behind it, but I'll keep it for later so Tal can tell you himself. G4, G5. Thank you, Peter Vipulis, for mentioning it. G4, G5 on the board. So both players, or especially Carlsen, is following my advice, my humble advice of putting his pawns on the same color as the bishop. Also, for the weaker side, it's generally a good idea to exchange pawns because it brings him closer to the draw. So Alon, do you love Tal? How is Tal as a person according to you? Well, that's a great question. Revenge Roy. So first question, if I love Tal. Well, I love chess, and Tal is a chess player, and he promotes chess and shares his passion to chess with the world. So in a sense, yeah, I love him. And what kind of a person he is to me? Well, he has his perks, he has some flaws as well, but overall he's quite harmless, I think. So, I mean, of course he doesn't speak any Russian, that's inexcusable, but the fact that he's I don't know, that he invited me here and hosted me and shared the cookie with me makes me feel like he's hosting me properly, and maybe I'm not the only one, so I guess he means good, he means well with the Chess Juice members. How many games of online chess would you say per day, Tal? Well, I'll ask him when he's back. But I'm not sure he will even understand the question. How many games of online chess would you say per day? I guess the question referred to how many games does Tal play per day, and judging by how well I know him, he spends at least an hour a day playing online chess. So I would say at least, and he only plays Blitz in his regular routine, so maybe around 6 to 20 games per day, and probably 10 in average. Who is Tal? Okay, that's a deep question. And my answer will be even more philosophical. Who is asking? Who is the one who's asking who is Tal? Someone doesn't buy the show. I mean, I don't even know how to call it. They don't fall for it. They think I'm still Tal. So I'm trying to scroll back to see all the questions, but it scrolls too quickly. Oh, now I found my place, and once again I lost it. I don't know why it's moving. Okay. King e4, rook c8. I'll just take your word. I'm not even going to check it. King e4, rook c8 was played. Alon, Tal seems very smart. Do you think he is the biggest genius in Israel currently? Well, that's very kind of you to ask such a thing, Fred Flintstone. But as mentioned, in round 11, Tal is going to host Boris Gelfand in the World Championship commentating stream, let's call it this way, in front of a live audience, and I'm sure that at least Boris Gelfand is smarter and wiser and better educated, I would say. So at least, so the answer is no. Why is Tal not commentating? Well, I don't know where he went, but he'll probably be back soon. Does Tal smell like banana? Well, I can't smell him right now, but even if he was here, I'm not sure I would dare to smell him. So, but my guess is no. I'll get back to you with this one. Tal, bring some lady chess players as a guest sometime. Well, I already did it in my past videos, and there hasn't been too much excitement from the viewers. So, and I'm not familiar with any ladies who live in Israel who are IMs and above. So, yeah, and this is kind of a requirement for Tal's channel. But please address me when you're asking Tal a question. Would you say you play per day? Haha. Well, yes. Analyze this. White makes a bishop sack for 2 pawns up. Well, I don't see how to analyze it. How you became IM? That's a great question, Faraz Ahmad Khan. And the answer is I made 3 GM norms and crossed 2400. Then I filed all the applications through the proper channels of the Israeli Chess Federations. It took a while, much more than needed, but eventually the title kicked in about a year and a half later. Draw was agreed, someone is saying. Let me see. And rook c8 and a draw was agreed. That's very true. Very, very true. It's over. Draw agreed. You're free. Again a draw. Boo! Draw agreed. What do you think about Tal having the same name as Trump's kid? Wow, that's fantastic. Let me just go back to my own spot, or to Tal's spot, before finishing this particular comment session, stream, I don't even know how to call it, and see what we have. The one who is asking is from India, and he only heard of Mikhail Tal until now. Well, I'm not sure if this is correct. Man, update your chessboard. I don't know how to update it, but it's a draw. In this position, the players agree to a draw. I'm trying to read the messages, but for some reason it's not easy to scroll. Okay. Poor Alon doesn't know the game has ended. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, I'm trying to read the messages. It's very difficult. Alon, do you have a girlfriend? Well, I'm back to being Tal, so too late for asking these questions, but I'll try to answer on his behalf. I think he doesn't, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't ask him. Game ended draw. What do you think about the draw? I think it was a pretty uneventful game, except for the fact that I suspect Carlsen might have been better somewhere along the way. Eddie played f5 as we analyzed, and he didn't play it. He played castles quite rapidly and went into a pawn down bishop, opposite card bishop ending, and I find it quite shocking. Carlsen missing opportunities one after another in each game. Seems like his mindset is just to get on to the white games. So he drew twice with black, and now he has 3 whites left and 2 blacks, and he's hoping to win in those games. Let's see, anything else? Thanks for the insights, Alon. Great job, buddy. Okay, I'll say on Alon's behalf, you're welcome. Would you accept a draw or keep on playing if you were white? I would probably accept a draw if I'm against a decent player. I don't know how to define a decent player. It depends on the situation, but yeah, generally I'll accept a draw over there. But in rapid chess, I normally play on more than I would in classical because the time is a big factor. So, would you accept? This is I answered. Thank you, Tal. See you tomorrow. Thank you for the stream. Keep the draws coming. So I'll just mention once again, this stream wasn't very energetic nor too eventful, as I said, but we can learn from each and every experience, and maybe today we practiced our patience. That's how I like to look at things like this. I'll remind everyone to like the video. As they say sometimes, punch that like button in the face. Subscribe to the channel if you feel like following some of the spontaneous streams, or get a notification when I have a new video going. And I feel like this is a nice way of showing your support at me personally. It's a very small form of support, but it helps motivating me to do more things, to put more time and effort into it. Follow us on Twitch. Follow on Twitter. Like my Facebook page. Check out my website. And that's more or less it. Alon offers private lessons. I kind of don't, unless you're above 2500, which I doubt in some cases. But I'm not hoping to find any students from these videos. I just want to share the love and passion for chess, even though today I probably did not succeed very well, but that's my challenge. I succeeded in not checking the position with the computer, and this was my main challenge in this entire project. In general, I look at the entire game using my brain. So thanks everyone for supporting me so far, for being here, for watching me, and for enjoying what I'm creating in my process of improvement. And hopefully it can inspire the other people to improve. and if not improve, then at least spend some of their time in a fun way. And if not my chess, then at least I improve my English, that's for sure. So I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from this game. And if you want to learn some more, then keep watching the next videos.